Previously on Rossdude Reads.
Overall, I really enjoy it. It never felt too slow. A great combination of action and horror, with the horror elements being even stronger than the Aliens film.
It's definitely kind of like walking the line of like so bad it's good. You know, like it's goofy as all hell.
And now, the conclusion.
We did it. We finally did it. Here we are. The final novel in the first Aliens Extended Universe trilogy. In this episode of Rossdude Reads, it's girl-on-girl action in Aliens, the Female War. Okay, first off, I need to lay down a few disclaimers. I need to talk about some spoilers from Aliens 3 and the other two novels, Aliens, Earth, Hive, and Aliens, Nightmare Asylum. If you haven't watched Alien 3 or read the other two books in this series, get thee gone. Really. If you haven't read Nightmare Asylum, what are you even doing with your life? You need to know about this dude, General Spears. Rest in peace, my man. Rest in peace, General Spears. Maybe you'd be fine with the summary. If so, check out my reviews for Aliens, Earth, Hive, and Aliens, Nightmare Asylum by clicking on the links below.
Ripley is back, and she's made friends with Xeno-slaying Sergeant Wilks and android-banging Billie. The aliens have long since colonized the Earth, and humans have been pushed off-world to various space stations and outposts. Some attempts have been made to take back the Earth, such as General Spears' epic failure of breeding and training Xenos to kill Earth-bred Xenos. Can I get an F in the chat for General Spears? On the space station gateway, a handful of people have experienced strange and horrible dreams. Billie even has these dreams, and Ripley says she used to have them before going into cryosleep aboard the Sulaco, a Space Marine warship that investigated a lost communication from the planet LV-426. Ripley has a theory. She thinks that the dreams are a telepathic signal from an alien super queen. She theorizes that if the Super Queen were to come to Earth, the Earth hordes would gather to her, putting all the foul Xenos in one place. An easy target for some nukes. The trio gets a team together made up of Marines and civilians who experience the dreams. Based off the details of the dreams, our team can make a good guess as to which planet the Super Queen is on. They plan an expedition to this planet to capture the Super Queen and bring her to Earth. But the military is not too keen on this idea, and our heroes are going to have to take things into their own hands. Billie has a side objective: to find and save Amy, a girl who Billie has been watching via streams from Earth since she found the broadcasts in Nightmare Asylum.
The story in The Female War is pretty straightforward. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, it plays everything really safe. It finishes without tying some loose ends. For example, the space jockey from Earth Hive never comes back. What happened to that dude? The Female War has some good ideas. Well, it brings Ripley back in an interesting way. As we all know, at the end of Alien 3, Ripley jumps into a furnace as a queen chestburster rips out of her chest. I mean, how do you bring her back after that? The history of this whole trilogy is that originally the story was going to be centered around fan favorites Hicks and Newt. But they were killed right away in Alien 3 after the Sulaco jettisons their cryopods down onto the prison planet. The original comic book sequel to Aliens was made before Alien 3 and is Earth Hive. But it features Hicks and Newt instead of Wilks and Billie, so they had to change some names. When Ripley shows up at the end of Nightmare Asylum, I was kind of confused. Are they going to say Alien 3 never happened? If so, why change the names of Hicks and Newt? But Alien 3 is canon, and how they brought Ripley into the fold is interesting. Unfortunately, this idea, which I'll talk about in the summary, doesn't pay off, and it leaves more questions than it has answers. There are some fun fight scenes, some Marine on Alien action, but at this point the aliens start to feel very unthreatening. Sure, some of our heroes are killed, but they seem to drop a ton of Xenos in the process. The Super Queen is not as scary as she should be, and she falls for a lot of simple traps. There is a fun firefight between our heroes and some evil alien cultists. It goes by fast though, and I wish there was more of that stuff. Wilks and Billie are pretty much how they've always been. Wilks is a salty Marine whose affections for Billie are growing. He seems tough, but most of the time doesn't do a whole lot and usually takes a back seat as Ripley and Billie do the heavy lifting. Billie is just a badass chick who needs to sleep with a dude every time she goes on a space flight. This flavor of the week is one of the pilots who recently joins up with the group. But Billie also notices that her attraction to Wilks is growing. She's less bitchy in this novel compared to the other entries. Her nurturing side blossoms as she quests to save Amy. Ripley is Ripley, but comes off a little more logical. Her idea that the Super Queen is sending a telepathic signal to all of the xenomorphs is speculation, and she forms all of these plans without any real evidence. She can't even guarantee that her plans will work. But everyone just goes along with it because it's better to do something than just stand around and do nothing. For some reason, I feel like the real Ripley would be a little bit more based in actual data, but that can be written off as being connected to the very reason why Ripley's in this novel in the first place. The rest of the cast of characters are basically just stand-ins. Other than Amy, I can't even remember their names. This is how my brain sees them. We have Doctor Guy, Pilot Guy, Captain Guy, Hacker Girl, Billie's sensitive Marine friend, Tough Marine Guy, Martial Arts Civilian Guy, Other Hacker Girl, Angry Stupid Marine General, and a few Marines for death count. Where this book is lacking is that there's no real memorable characters. No Macy, no Spears. It really needed one of those. A solid antagonist. Sure, there are creepy, evil, human xenocultist freaks who worship the aliens, and that's cool, but they could have elaborated on that and given one of them a real freaky, creepy, weird personality. I mean, Macy killed his own family to keep his mission under wraps. Spears got horny looking at an alien egg. Those things stay in the reader's brain. Also, Angry Stupid Marine Guy, who I think was also described as being fat, is a little bit overdone. Of course, the dude won't even listen to Wilks' proposal for just the sake of being an asshole. It makes the opposition extremely unthreatening and boring. Throw a Grand Admiral Thrawn in there or something. Maybe to the shock of Wilks, the smooth, intelligent general is willing to help, but has a hidden agenda of using the aliens to his own end. I'm just making this stuff up on the fly, and it seems more interesting than what the book presents. Maybe they clone General Spears? Okay. Sorry, bad idea. My Spears fanboyness is showing, alright? Rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace, General Spears. The writing is fine. The beginning is slow while Ripley and friends form their party, but when you get to the heist scene of the novel, the writing does pick up. If you've read Earth Hive and Nightmare Asylum, you might as well read The Female War. I mean, you've gotten this far, why not? But if you don't have any strong connection to this franchise, this novel will come off as bland and forgettable. It is the very definition of a dime paperback novel.
It's spoiler time. I'm going to get into the summary of The Female War, so if you're still interested in reading this book, now is the time to go outside, enjoy your day, eat some ice cream, or do whatever you do. Maybe scourge up $10 so you can get this sweet collection and read the entire trilogy. In space, no one can hear you get pissed because you listen to some spoilers. As I said before, Wilks goes to the angry Marine General to pitch Ripley's idea and hopefully get issued a ship, no dice. The Marines have sent several expeditions to Earth in poor attempts to cleanse the world of the foul Xeno scum. The result is a waste of life and resources. Ships are getting hard to come by. The angry Marine General unreasonably ignores Wilks and denies his request. Honestly, Ripley's plan is far out, and I'm not sure I would approve it were I the angry Marine General. At the same time, every other plan seems to have failed. It is kind of like abandon Earth as a lost cause or give Ripley's plan a try. In any case, the Marine General comes off as ridiculously dense and mean-spirited. Wilks is not surprised, nor is the reader. So the team needs to steal a ship. It's heist time, baby. Do some crime. I'm reminded of when Kirk and gang steal the Enterprise in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. The heist sequence is fun, but honestly, I don't remember the details. They almost get caught by a maintenance worker, the codes to the hatch aren't what they thought they were, and there's some other hiccups in their plan. But ultimately, Ripley and friends successfully steal the Kurtz and embark on their unsanctioned quest. Once they arrive at their destination, the Kurtz drops off an APC with most of the team, and they quickly find that the planet is inhabited by aliens. Large aliens. Much bigger than the usual. The Marines engage them with modified power loader armor while Ripley sneaks away by herself towards a nest where the Super Queen is at. A few Marines as well as the martial arts dude bite the dust. The APC sustains critical damage and explodes, taking a ton of aliens with it. The heroes get out in time, but it's out of the frying pan and into the fire as they face off against a horde of super aliens. Meanwhile, Ripley lures the Super Queen out and the Kurtz is able to capture it. The pilot wants to leave with the prize, but Ripley convinces him to go back for the others. The survivors load up, but Billie's sensitive Marine friend is impaled by a spiny Xeno tail as she tries to jump on board. Somewhere in the action, Ripley is whacked on the head and knocked out. She wakes up in the Kurtz's med lab where the doctor dude explains to her that though she is more human than most, she is indeed an android. This is the big spoiler. So she isn't the original Ripley. I mean, Ripley died on Fury 161. This makes sense and is pretty cool. Once the news spreads to among the team members, some of the personnel lose trust in Ripley, and even Ripley loses confidence in herself. That's totally understandable. Who makes an android that doesn't know it's an android, and why use Ripley as the basis of this android? It has to have something to do with the aliens. Is this whole plan of Ripley's part of her programming to bring the Super Queen to Earth for some nefarious scheme? But Billie has a pep talk with the team where she scolds them for being android phobes, and Wilks talks Ripley into staying on as their leader. The Kurtz returns to Earth space where they are met by a Marine ship looking to capture them. The team easily loses the enemy Marine ship and makes their way to Earth. In Oregon, there is a massive unused stash of nuclear weapons that were left behind by Dr. Orona from the Earth Hive novel. The team decides that this is where they will drop the Super Queen. They figure they will have a few hours before the waves of aliens make it to their supermama. Once they land and enter the military complex, they find that some of the nuclear controls are damaged and need repair. Billie takes this opportunity to grab a small aircraft to go search for Amy. While she is gone, another spacecraft appears near the complex. It belongs to alien cultists who attack. A firefight ensues and our heroes come out victorious. Billie sets down at the location Amy described in her final broadcast. She finds Amy's dad, or grandpa, I can't remember which, who tells her Amy has been taken by the cultists. Ripley, Wilks, and the remaining Marines take off once the nuclear system is back online. They encounter Billie, and Billie convinces them to touch back down near the cultist ship. At this point, waves of aliens are making their pilgrimage to the Big Queen. They aren't paying too much attention to the humans, but are still dangerous. However, Ripley and Billie seem to maneuver around them with ease, downing them left and right as they make their way to the cultist ship. They reach the ship only to discover that an alien must have gotten inside. Blood and body parts litter the ship's halls. More aliens come, and the ship gets caught up in the motion. Billie desperately digs through a pile of dead bodies in one last-ditch effort to find Amy. And she finds her alive. Billie grabs Amy, and her and Ripley escape. They get back on the Kurtz and make for orbit. Ripley presses the button to set off the nuke.
And that's how it ends. The space jockey from Earth Hive never shows up again. We never find out why somebody made a Ripley android, or who they are. We don't even know if nukes actually go off. Do Wilks and Billie get together? That's okay, because we'll learn about all those things in the next novel. Right? Well, from what I've heard, these characters do not appear in any Aliens novels after this one. Yup, just completely dropped. I feel like this novel could have benefited from a few more chapters, as well as a standout antagonist. We could have learned a bit more about Android Ripley. Maybe she was put there for some sinister reason, and the whack on her head from the Queen makes her go crazy. Not only does Billie have to kill the aliens and save Amy, but now she has to deal with fighting her old hero. Maybe Android Ripley was created by the cultists. There you go. 2 birds with 1 stone. You could have even had evil Android Ripley falling into the nuclear flames, echoing the end of Alien 3. Hot damn! Hire me to write an Aliens novel. Wilks and Billie make out on the curts as the nuclear explosions light up the sky behind them. Bam! There really wasn't much female warring going on, actually. There is that quick skirmish Ripley has with the Super Queen, and that's about it. That Super Queen should have more of a presence that leads to some ultimate confrontation with her. It could be something as simple as the Queen just moves from where the team wants her to be, and they have to make a plan on the fly to get her back into position. Maybe you could tie that in to the Android Ripley being evil idea. Ripley does something to botch the plan, and Billie has to face off against the Queen while Ripley protects her. Maybe the Xeno cultists took Amy to the Super Queen, and Billie has to jump into the hot zone to save her. Ripley, Billie, and the Queen in a 3-way mud wrestling match. That would definitely live up to the title. But hey, it is what it is. And that wraps up the first trilogy in the Aliens expanded universe. There's nothing much left to do now except take off and nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.